between the Red Sox and the Yankees is one word: Ruth.
The Yankees have just purchased him from the Boston Red Sox, where he made good as a pitcher. Now he's shifted to right field, and he's slugging his way to baseball immortality.
Since the Red Sox made this deal, things haven't gone particularly well for the Red Sox in terms of winning World Series.
Of course, they've never won since, and that's known as Curse of the Bambino.
It has become part of baseball lore that Ruth's departure from Boston prior to the 1920 season not only cursed the Red Sox, but also gave birth to a Yankees dynasty and the most time-honored tradition in all of sports.
We always had a rivalry with them. You feared them. They feared us, right?
A generation later, the rivalry progressed, and two men came to personify it. Joe DiMaggio and Ted Williams lifted it to another level. Precisely what you would expect from two of the greatest players of their time.
I never saw a better right-handed hitter, and never saw a better player.
I knew his hitting, and he was the best. I mean, how could you doubt that? You know, I couldn't be jealous over his hitting.
In the midst of their battles, Joe D. and Teddy Ballgame maintained a friendly respect for one another, as did the two teams. But all that changed in the 1970s.
We knew when we were playing the Red Sox on our schedule. Two teams that particularly didn't like each other.
Bill Lee is now going over to a couple of the Yankees, and there they go again.
When these two teams get together, the emotion and the intensity of the game dictates exactly what and when things are going to blow up.
Fisk came right over to me and he said, "We don't talk to the Yankees around here." And he was serious. He wasn't kidding, you know. And so I said, now I got a pretty good idea of how much he dislikes anybody in pinstripes.
You had the two catchers. You had Thurman Munson and Carlton Fisk, which was a perfect embodiment for the rivalry. They really did hate each other. There would be fights at home plate with slides in the home plate.
I guess maybe they were tired of reading about us up in Boston all the time, about how the Yankees were beating up on them all the time. They averaged about 95, 97 wins a year for 3 years, and they didn't win a division because we beat them every year. And so that added a little bit more to their crankiness.
Yastrzemski will not get its home run. A 3-run home run for Bucky Dent.
In recent years, the Boston-New York rivalry, while still competitive, had adopted a softer, friendlier tenor.
I don't have the same sense today that there's a dislike among the players as there has been in the past. How can you not like guys like Bernie Williams? I mean, the way he plays, Derek Jeter, you know. How do you not like those guys?
Never was this friendly vibe more apparent than in 1999 at the All-Star Game, when Derek Jeter came in to replace the hometown hero.
I was in Boston, so you know, they don't like me there to begin with, and I try to get some of the fans on my side by giving them a hug there.
Derek even provided a good-natured mimic of Nomar's trademark routine.
He just told me, he goes, watch this, and I was like watching, and I just started laughing.
The rivalry between New York and Boston, I don't think it's as intense as it was in the 70s or 80s, but when it comes time to game time, we're competing.
Hit of the ninth, the first base runner. Messina was just one strike away from a perfect game.
The competition isn't confined to the field either, as these teams often fight to acquire talent. Such was the case this past offseason when Cuban pitcher Jose Contreras became available.
We all know that George Steinbrenner, when there's a premium free agent out there that everybody wants, George makes up his mind that he's going to get this guy.
And when the Yankees did win this latest Star Wars battle in December, Red Sox CEO Larry Lucchino made it clear the bad guys had prevailed.
He calls it the evil empire, and George Steinbrenner goes cuckoo about that, you know, which it's just a funny expression. They are the evil empire if you live in Boston, in New England.
We've used the Star Wars reference on more than one occasion. The New York Yankees are at the top of the heap. They've got the biggest market and the most successful franchise in baseball, and they are, after all, from the Empire State.
It was a very delicious offseason if you were involved in chronicling this long-standing rivalry.
The hot stove pressure cooker of winter set the tone for the 2003 regular season, as these teams appeared more evenly matched than ever. No question, there was a newfound feistiness in the air. the kind not seen since the 70s.
Look out.
He closes Garcia apart. That ball is hit down toward Pesky's pole. It is a home run.
Here comes the runner. Here's the throw. He's out.
Slides, and he makes the catch, and the ball game is over.
The Yankees won the ultra-competitive 2003 season series by the barest of margins, 10 games to 9. Now, both teams needed to win their divisional series to set up a much-anticipated showdown to decide the American League pennant. Just the second time they'd ever meet in the playoffs.
Did you see that?
But to do so, Boston would have to stave off elimination in 3 straight games.
Looks up, it's gone! A home run!
And the Red Sox have stayed alive with a win in the 11th.
This is a great ball club. Hey, the Yankees showed you what a championship team is made of.
Strike 3 call, the Red Sox win it! Bring on the Yankees!
One of the fiercest rivalries in all of sports, Boston and New York.
That's what makes this series awesome. You got 2 heavyweight fighters. This is almost like this is almost like the World Series, really.
From 1 to 9, they're a lot different club than the 8 years I've been here. They're a very tough offensive ball club, and you really have to pay attention when you pitch to them.
Mike Mussina discovered what his manager was talking about with a man on base in the 4th.
Ramirez relieved. He goes. The pitch is swung on, and there's a drive. Way back. Upper deck. Home run. David Ortiz. And the Red Sox take a 2-0 lead.
Things didn't get any easier in the 5th, but they did get stranger.
Hit high in the air to deep right. If it's fair, it's gone. That ball is foul ball. He just missed.
And now the home plate umpire says home run. Tim McClellan got it right. Home run, Todd Walker.
You know, great pitching always beats great hitting. That's the usual saying. And I really think this team's an exception to the rule because we've got 9 guys that can really swing the bat.
Another Boston home run. This one from Manny Ramirez. And the Red Sox take a 4-0 lead.
Mussina lasted 5 2/3 innings, allowing 8 hits and 4 earned runs. His pitching counterpart on Boston was having much more success. For Tim Wakefield's knuckler was indeed knuckling.
Wakefield's control is unbelievable for a knuckleballer. The 1-2 is a call, strike 3 on the outside corner.
Wakefield was left off the ALCS roster in '99. Now he was their unlikely ace.
Well, the Boston Red Sox could not have hoped for anything more out of Tim Wakefield.
Wakefield has retired 14 in a row. He's been outstanding.
With Boston holding a 3-run lead in the 9th, the red-hot Red Sox bullpen, led by closer Scott Williamson, looked to put Game 1 to bed.
Got him on the inside corner, 1 away.
Yankees down to their final strike.
In there, call strike 3, and this one's over. The Boston Red Sox take a 1-game lead in the American League Championship Series.
We know the Yankees. We've played them 19 times. We know what we're up against. And I think the bottom line was they just couldn't hit Wakefield.
Tim Wakefield going 6+ innings, allowing 2 runs on 2 hits, and they win a big Game 1 here in the Bronx.
This is the 2003 Sox, and we're a bunch of competitors, and we're ready to go in and take this series by the reins.
After winning Game 1 at Yankee Stadium, Millar and his mates had every reason to be loose.
That's the way the fat guys stretch right here. Mirabelli, Todd Jones. Hey, we're a close-knit team now, guys. Come on over here, Sox. And here we go. Let's play some baseball.
The Yankees desperately needed a victory, and they had just the man for the job.
Andy Pettitte is going to be asked by his teammates to do what he did against Minnesota in the division series, and that is get a win in Game 2.
Grounder to deep short. Jeter fields, no throw.
And it's an infield hit for Kepler and a good start for Boston.
But Pettitte would survive the first when Boston ran into trouble.
Here's the payoff. Strike 3, the throw down, they got him easily.
left, strike him out, throw him out, double play.
Fresh off a brilliant division series against Oakland, sinker ball specialist Derek Lowe took the mound for Boston.
A dominant ground ball pitcher. How dominant? The most dominant ground ball pitcher in the major leagues.
Pettit was the first to get touched, with 2 on in the second and Damian Jackson at bat.
Swing and a looping liner into center field, base hit. Coming in to score is Veritek, and Boston has a 1-0 lead with 3 consecutive hits.
It was a battle for me tonight as far as locating my ball and putting the ball where I wanted to.
Despite giving up 6 hits in the first 2 innings, Pettit allowed just 1 run, thanks to Jeter and the Yankees defense.
Ground ball to short. Jeter touches second, goes to first, double play. And boy, did the Yankees need that.
We had a chance to get Mr. Pettit there, and we didn't capitalize on our opportunities.
But in their half of the second, the Yankees did just that.
Swung on, there goes the run. That ball is high. That is far. It is gone. Oh, it's a 2-run blast by Nick Johnson.
New York scored another run in the third. And even though Lowe would cool down those Yankees bats, Pettit remained red hot.
Swung on a miss, strike 3. This crowd and these Yankees appreciate the work of Andy Pettit. And here is the ovation for Andy Pettit.
After Pettit left in the 7th, both teams offered a glimpse into the future.
Wild pitch, fastball up and in. Knocked Ortiz off the plate. Now Soriano is hit.
Well, on Saturday, you're going to see a few hitters straightened up, too, with Pedro Martinez and Roger Clemens pitching against one another.
But that would be Game 3. For now, it was all Mariano Rivera.
Look about swinging, fastball up. And this series is tied at a game apiece, going to Fenway.
Red Sox-Yankees, Game 3, Rocket against Pedro with everything on the line.
Pedro versus Clemens, Red Sox-Yankees, folks. We've been waiting for this a long time. I'm willing to put this curse to hell, to bed, say bye-bye. Go Sox! Cowboy up! It's time. It is time.
There is no greater rivalry in sports than Boston versus New York.
We got Roger and Martinez, Game 3, split championship series, American League. All eyes are on the Sox. And you got Pedro Martinez, who loves the center stage. You tell me where the money's going at the Mirage and the Bellagio. You got to be going with the Sox. You got to be going with the Sox. This is the Sox Nation, 2003, and screw that curse.
Some are calling this the toughest sports ticket in Boston sports history.
Roger and Pedro are 2 of the greatest pitchers in Red Sox history. I mean, an opportunity like today comes along once in a lifetime.
They're the 2 best teams. Anything can happen. They're so evenly matched. 2 very quiet, docile set of fans.
Yankees suck! Yankees suck!
It's unbelievable. Been pumped for quite some time about this. It's like a dream come true.
This is the first postseason game in which there have been 9 combined Cy Young awards ever.
He's pumped up for this game. Pedro's pumped up. To watch 2 great heavyweights go is something you really can't handicap. I mean, it's just, all I know is I'm going to be sitting in the 7th row enjoying one of the great days of my baseball life.
The hype was incredible. But early on in this baseball battle, pitching took a back seat.
That one's going to be a base hit. Here comes Damon to score. Walker makes the turn. A 2 RBI single for Ramirez.
Posada is in to score on the clutch 2-out single by Kareem Garcia. It is 2-1 Boston. Curveball, that one is hit high and deep to left field. That one is way back there, and it is over everything. On to Lansdowne Street. So Derek Jeter has tied this game at 2.
By the 4th inning, it had become clear that one of these 2 pitchers was off his mark.
So Posada draws a leadoff walk, seeing nothing but curveballs.
I know something's wrong with him. I just watching his pitching pattern, but he does not have Pedro-like fastball.
Runner not going. That to left field. Line drive. Ramirez back. Not going to get it. That bounce bases at the base of the wall. Runners at first and third here in the fourth with nobody out.
Here's Matsuda. And he rips one down the right field line deep. That one's going to go over the head of Trot Nixon, and it bounces up into the seats.
And the Yankees take a 3-2 lead.
And the Yankees are figuring out Pedro Martinez here in this fourth inning.
And Karim Garcia delivered a base hit RBI first time up. That one's over his head. Garcia didn't like it.
Yeah, that was perilously close to his head.
And a warning is now issued by the home plate umpire to both teams.
So there is some history here. You know, Roger Clemens hit Millar, and Pedro has hit Soriano and Jeter. It only takes a slight spark to ignite this fire.
Rick, the reason he would do that right there is first base is open. And he's got Soriano coming up, and it sets up a possible double play. So if he's going to beat somebody right now, and here's what he wanted. 1, 2. A run scores. Johnson crosses, and now we got a fight going on at second base, and the umpire's got to break up.
Karim Garcia wants to get into it with Todd Walker out there. He wanted a pound of flesh from somebody.
They're all pointing at Pedro, saying, you started it.
Martinez now pointing. That's the wrong thing to do. He's not saying to use your head. He's saying, I'll hit you in the head.
I'll hit you in the head.
I mean, come on.
Posada is shouting out at Pedro from the foul ground.
Look at Zimmer.
Oh, look at Clemens. Clemens is coming out here.
Right? Wow. Because what he's mad about is he can't throw at anybody.
Oh, he will.
But if he does, he's out of the game.
He'll pick his spot. These two teams, these fans, these owners, they don't like each other. They never have to right now. They may never.
And while all this is going on, the Yankees got a 4-2 lead.
As if this game needed any more emotion. The entire level of intensity has been raised another notch as Clemens goes back to work.
Look out. That is high and tight, and now Manny walks out toward the mound. And he's shouting angrily at Roger.
He's still got the bat in his hand. He wants him, and everybody's out.
You talk about looking for a reason.
Absolutely.
There's a fight on the side. Oh, my gosh, Don Zimmer went after Pedro, and Pedro threw him down.
Zimmer took a swing at Pedro Martinez.
Zim's almost 80. Wow, is this ugly.
That Manny Ramirez, it looked like he was looking for a reason to go out there and start all that up again.
Everybody knew at the start of this game it was likely to get hot and that we might have people brush back, but nobody thought it was going to look like this.
Here's the first pitch after the bench clears. Swung on and missed, strike 3. As if Roger Clemens said, take that.
What really impressed me was how calm he was and how through all that madness that went on the field for that inning, him being in his last season at Fenway Park, last start there, he was really able to get it together and control his emotions like the Hall of Famer that he is.
And Roger Clemens continues to dominate.
The altercation also seemed to get Martinez back on track, for he would retire 10 consecutive batters.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Posada and Martinez continue to have words.
Pedro was telling him to go sit down.
2-2 pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. He struck him out.
The Yankees have not had a base runner since Garcia was hit by Martinez.
Now the pitching duel was living up to its billing. And in the sixth, Clemens threw his final pitch at Fenway.
Here they are again. Clemens again faces Ramirez.
So big pitch right here.
That one is short. Played by Jeter. Soriano, double play. And Clemens works his way out of the inning.
And Clemens has put his Yankees team in a position to win this game.
Then, in the ninth inning, the focus turned from the mound to the bullpen as the simmering tensions once again boiled over.
This is turning ugly. I mean, I thought they went back to playing baseball, which they did for a long period of time, but now, I mean, there are just too many things going on around here.
4-3, the Yankees lead, last of the ninth. The Yankees one strike away from going ahead in the series.
Center field. Bernie Williams. And the Yankees have won the ball game 4-3.
They have beaten Pedro with Roger Clemens.
They have to be stunned here in Fenway.
And this will definitely go down as an intense and memorable day in the long, serious rivalry between the Red Sox and the Yankees.
Yeah, unrest has existed between these two teams since the Babe Ruth trade, and tonight's game an example of how it will continue to exist over the next century.
The Field of Dreams became the Field of the Absurd in Game 3 between the Yankees and Red Sox.
We didn't start it, but, you know, whatever kind of baseball they want to play, we're going to play.
It doesn't matter if you like somebody, dislike them. We got to go out there with the mentality still to just grind this out and grind them into the ground.
I think we've upgraded from a battle to a war.
I'm embarrassed. What happened yesterday? I'm embarrassed for the Yankees, the Red Sox, the fans, the umpires, and my family. So I have to say I'm sorry.
I have the utmost respect for Don, and he's doing the right thing, and hopefully we can get apologies over to them, and because of what happened yesterday definitely took away from what a great game it was.
We are very grateful for Zim's apology. We're all sorry that what took place on the field happened the other day. That's an unfortunate circumstance that we're trying to put behind us right now and play baseball here tonight.
Now back to that bullpen incident. Jeff Nelson and Kareem Garcia were those involved. It was suggested that the Boston police would in fact charge those two with assault.
Mother Nature doing her part to clean up the mess in Boston.
It has been raining all day. This field is a sloppy mess. There is no baseball to be played at Fenway Park tonight.
I'm real happy about this day off. I mean, it gives me another day to rest. It gives us some options we can do as far as the pitching rotation.
It's definitely an advantage for the Boston Red Sox. They can have Tim Wakefield go in Game 4.
I feel very blessed to be in the situation I am, to be able to put on a big league uniform every day and compete, and especially to compete at such a grand stage as the ALCS.
What are your concerns about Wakefield and trying to hit his knuckleball tomorrow?
Wakefield is a problem, and if his knuckleball is a knuckler, you know, it's going to be a problem for us.
With a 3-0 career record in league championship play, Wakefield's been a problem for everyone. And now he was looking to build on his big game success.
2 on, 2 out. Here's the pitch. Strike 3 ball on the inside corner. That knuckleball darted and danced and caught the inside corner down around the knees.
Wakefield and Mike Mussina kept it scoreless till the 4th. But that's when Todd Walker lit up the night.
Walker with his club record 5th postseason home run.
I just eliminated the changeup because I had hit it before and just was looking fastball, and I got it.
Another clutch postseason hitter came through for New York in the 5th.
That is off the bag. Ramirez is going to come get it. DeLucci's going to score. Ball gets bobbled by Garcia-Parra. The runners move up, and the Yankees have tied it at 1-1. Jeter does it again.
But once again, Boston had an answer in the bottom of the 5th.
That one hit in the air to center field, way back. Trot Nixon. Oh, is that one out of here? Goodbye, home run. Red Sox lead it 2-1.
But long ball wasn't the only order of the day, for Boston added to its lead in the 7th with small ball.
Their attack towards short. Jeter. What a play. Soriano. Didn't get it. 1-run home. Kevin Millar scores. 3-1 Boston.
Wakefield's knuckler baffled the Yankees all night long. But their patience and a careful eye finally paid off in the 8th.
Just a bit low. The 4th walk allowed by Wakefield. Looks like we're going to have a pitching change. Here comes Grady Little. And he has signaled to the bullpen for the right-hander, Mike Timlin. And quite a night for Tim Wakefield. He gets a huge ovation as he walks off the mound from the Fenway faithful.
Wakefield left the game a hero. But you can't have heroes without villains.
Now listen to what's going to happen. Here comes Jeff Nelson out of the bullpen. And the fans obviously all over him in light of what happened in the last game. He faces Garcia-Parra. And now Grady Little's coming out to talk to the home plate umpire.
Now the 3 of them are walking out to the pitcher's mound. They've actually unbuckled his belt.
I've never been checked before. The umpires got a big chuckle out of it. I don't even think they wanted to come out and check me. I think after Joe Torre checked Mike Timlin when we were at home, it was probably a little payback.
Well, a little bit of a mind game going on here.
By them thinking it was going to get me more rattled, it kind of eased me a little bit, because it almost gives you time to take a couple deep breaths and then get back into rhythm again. That's what it did.
That one to short. Derek Jeter, fine play. That's one, and that's two. A double play turn, and Nelson gets the job done.
Nelson had won the mind game, but Boston won the game that mattered.
Here's a 1-2 delivery. Soriano strikes out.
The Red Sox beat the Yankees 3-2 as Tim Wakefield spins a beauty.
The Red Sox have tied up this series.
This series just won't die, will it?
This is October baseball, baby. The temperature's down. It's cool. It's game 5 of this ALCS. The series tied 2-2.
Yanks and Red Sox against each other. Lifetime at Fenway, 425, 425, and 4.
I know. Whoever wins today wins the World Series.
A tall order for Derek Lowe, who'd be facing a man famous for coming through in the clutch.
Here is the lefty, David Wells. No doubt a big game pitcher, 9-2 in his career in the postseason.
You know, I lived for this time. You know, I get an opportunity, you know, pitching a big game, and I said the other day, I'm not afraid to take the ball.
Wells showed no fear in the first. And in the second, Kareem Garcia showed no ill effects from his Game 3 altercation.
And Joe Torre wanted to make sure that Garcia was okay with that left hand, which he injured in that fight in the 9th inning of Game 3.
I'd say his eyes lit up when I said, "You're playing tonight." He thanked me, actually.
With the bases loaded, it would soon be Torre's turn to say thanks.
Hit right back through the middle, base hit into center field. Coming in to score is Posada. Here comes Johnson around third, and he scores. And Kareem Garcia, with a 2-run single, has given the Yankees a 2-0 lead.
But the Yankees weren't done teeing off on Lowe.
And a ground ball base hit to the right side. Here comes Boone. He'll score without a play. Throw is over to third. Garcia's safe. And it's 3-0 New York.
A stunned silence has captured Fenway here for the moment.
The silence grew deafening in the third when 2 men were on for Garcia-Parra.
3-0 Yankees, bottom of the third. Wells ready, full windup. The 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. And the Red Sox do not score.
Any jam you get out of is big because they have opportunities to score.
What a job of pitching by David Wells.
You know, to get out of that, you know, it's just huge. It's just a confidence builder for our team.
Manny Ramirez had homered off Wells in the 4th, and the 2 met again in the 5th.
Bases loaded. This may be the series right here. A chopper to third base, force play at third. Boone's got it, and that's the inning. Wells gets it done.
I mean, he got some huge outs. I mean, you know, getting Manny with the bases loaded, that was unbelievable.
Wells fed off that confidence.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
4 strikeouts now for Wells, and he is dominating right now.
Rivera came on for Wells in the 8th and allowed 1 run to make it 4-2. But he was lights out in the 9th.
That one flew towards center field. Is it going to fall in? Jeter makes the play, and this game is over. And maybe the Red Sox season at Fenway as well.
I believe our best foot hasn't come forward yet. Maybe we'll see it starting tomorrow.
Welcome to Yankee Stadium for Game 6 of the American League Championship Series. If the Yankees win this afternoon, they will go to the World Series for the 6th time in the past 8 years, and they will win the American League pennant for a record 39th time.
In this conflict between the blessed and the cursed, the Sox drew strength from their recent past.
We had our back to the wall in our last series, and we've got it there again. You got to play the game. We'll see what happens.
Cowboy up!
Cowboy up.
Sox!
Boston's battle cry.
This is the Sox. This is the Sox.
Facing their 4th elimination game of the playoffs, pressure had become old hat for these Cowboys.
Being down on the field today, watching these Red Sox interact, you wouldn't know that they were down 3-2.
The weather conditions may well play a big part in this game today. Winds are 30 miles an hour, gusts up to 43.
It's October and you expect it to be a little chilly night, and really ever could come into a factor, I think, is just the wind.
The pitching matchups today, 31-year-old Andy Pettit.
I think he's going to come out there, and he's got a chance to put the nail in the coffin.
And 38-year-old John Burkett, who with a lifetime ERA of just under 9 against the Yankees, all the more pressure goes on the right-handed veteran of the Red Sox.
I just wanted to have that opportunity to pitch in important games, and I pitched in the Yankee Stadium.
Burkett's first inning ERA on the year was just under 10, and Jambi looked to make it even worse.
Jambi hits one in deep right center field. Nixon back on the track at the wall. She's gone. The Yankees take a 1-0 lead on the Giambi home run.
But then the Cowboys circled the wagons. And in the third inning, Jason Varitek got that run right back.
Swing and a drive, deep to left, way back, and we have a tie game.
Home run Varitek into the upper deck.
Boston was not done. They loaded the bases and appeared ready to explode.
These guys have the clock ticking on them. Hopefully they'll find their stroke.
The pitch to Ortiz, lines one, over the glove of Jeter on into left field. Walker will score, and Garcia-Parra will score on the single into left by David Ortiz, and the Red Sox take the lead 3-1.
The silent Boston bats had found new life. But down by 3 in the fourth, the Yankees struck back.
And here's an opportunity for Nick Johnson. First and third, one out. Tying run at the plate.
One hit. Here's the pitch. There's a fly ball to deep right center field. Come on now! Come on, let's go! It's going to be a ground rule double. Red Sox 4 and the Yankees 2.
Was this team cursed? It sure seemed that way when Garcia-Parra kept the inning alive.
Torrey lines one into short center field, and it's going to be a base hit.
Garcia cruising from first. Yankees take the lead.
When you get an intense series like that, you know, any little thing can set you off.
The Yankees generally very professional in their demeanor, but in this series, their emotional state has been ratcheted up noticeably. Let's go to Chad! Let's go to Chad! Let's go to Chad! Get out of here!
Georgie juice one, and the Yankees take a 6-4 lead.
It was time to cowboy up. And the first shot was fired by Nomar.
Here is a spot for Nomar Garcia-Parra. If he's ever going to bust out of this slump, to do it right here for the Red Sox.
At any time, he could bust out with 4 or 5 hits, and it's just a matter of time.
Swing and a fly ball to center field. Bernie Williams drifting back, going back, way back. It's off the center field wall. It bounces back towards the infield. Nomar round second, heading for third. Bad throw by the left fielder. Matsui, and Nomar is going to score a triple and an error.
Suddenly, New York was reeling. And the Red Sox were showing how they set single-season records for slugging percentage, total bases, and extra base hits.
To first, off the bat, the Red Sox have tied it. Ortiz is on with an RBI base hit.
And Boston would soon load the bases.
Damon, who has walked twice, a walk here ties the score. The 3-0 inside and low, ball 4. A 4-pitch walk, and the Red Sox take the lead 7-6.
Nixon trying to add to the Boston 1-run 9th inning lead.
And a high fly ball to deep right, down the line, by the pole. It is gone into the upper deck. A 2-run homer for Trump Nixon, and the Red Sox have taken a 9-6 lead.
They didn't expect us to go down without a fight. Tomorrow's going to be a major battle.
We'll see you tomorrow night. Game 7.
This will be the 26th time the Red Sox and Yankees have played one another this season, the most games two teams have ever played against one another in one year. And for all their history, it's only the 3rd time that the Red Sox and Yankees have come down to one game for the American League pennant.
The statement, it doesn't get any better than this. Well, 9 times out of 10 it does. The one time it doesn't get any better is when Pedro meets the Rocket in the Game 7 between the Red Sox and Yankees.
When you go tonight with Pedro against Roger, that's pretty special. And I think we're all waiting to see it.
Well, what a perfect way to finish off this ALCS. Pedro Martinez coming here to the Bronx to try to get the Red Sox past the Yankees and into the World Series against Florida. On the other side, you've got Roger Clemens, who made his name with the Boston Red Sox, trying to stop them in their tracks and get the Yankees to the Fall Classic.
After Clemens pitched a scoreless first, public enemy number 1 entered to the greeting everyone expected. But Pedro quickly silenced the boos with blistering heat.
So far, Pedro Martinez has been outstanding.
In the second inning, Trot Nixon put his .371 career average against Clemens to the test.
Swinging a high fly ball to right center field, deep back goes Garcia looking up. This ball is gone, a home run into the bleachers.
The Yankees understood the importance of striking first in a Game 7, and Boston added to its lead later in the inning when Enrique Wilson threw wide to first.
You know, the Yanks are in a lot of trouble. Hey, you can't minimize it. They're down 3-0 here in the second inning to Pedro Martinez.
It almost seemed as if the curse had been reversed, as Boston's ace was seemingly unhittable.
Well, we go to the 4th inning, and the Yankees have to hold Boston at 3 to have any chance. Clemens to Millar.
Swing and a drive, deep to left, way back, home run, Kevin Millar.
Clemens was getting battered as Boston took a 4-0 lead. But even though it hadn't gone as planned, Rogers fans realized that this could be his final stand. New York needed relief, and some very big names were in the bullpen.
Here I come, my first relief appearance in my professional career, and we're already down 4-0. It's first and third, nobody out. And in all honesty, I was trying to get 3 outs and give him the guy at third base.
Sometimes a big relief performance can lift the club up. The 0-2 pitch to Damon. Swing and a shot to short, a double play ball. Steps on the bag, Jeter, high throw to first, out. And Messina does the job.
In the 5th, a struggling Jason Giambi, who'd been dropped to 7th in the batting order, breathed some life into the stadium crowd.
Giambi hits a high fly to deep center. Damon back on the track. He's at the wall. Gone! The Yankees are on the board. They trail 4-1.
2 innings later, a resurgent Giambi hit still another to bring the Yankees within 2. But David Wells' first pitch to David Ortiz left the ballpark in the 8th.
I think a lot of the air was taken out after the Ortiz home run because they had got to within 4-2, and all of a sudden, bam, it's 5-2.
To the surprise of many, Pedro began the 8th, and at first had no problem, inching Boston ever closer to the World Series.
Yankees now down to 5 outs. Pedro continues to weave his magic tonight.
But magic can be elusive. Pedro was reaching a pitch count range where opposing batters hit an astounding .370 against him.
I really felt like that, Pedro was getting a little tired there at the end of the game, and I thought we were going to get to him.
Jeter flies into right, Nixon back. On the run, it's over his head. Jeter will dig for second.
Swinging a line drive center field, and Damon has to play it on a hop. Here comes Jeter to score. It's 5-3 Boston. Tying run coming to the plate.
Now he was at 115 pitches, and the bullpen was ready. But when Boston manager Grady Little went to the mound, Pedro didn't budge.
Pedro wanted to stay in there. He wanted to get the job done, just as he has many times for us all season long. And he's the man we all wanted on the mound.
This is the most blatant situation for a second guess in this series.
Ripped into the right field corner fair. Bernie Williams will dig. It's a ground rule double. It's second and third.
The stadium was on fire. Still, Pedro remained on the mound, and ready to stoke the comeback flames was Jorge Posada.
We had a feeling in the dugout we could stay close to Pedro. We would, come back and beat him.
The Yankees looking for more of that October magic, which they have almost come to expect around here under Joe Torre.
These are the moments that we live for.
2-2 pitch. Lozano swings. Up loop. Shadow center. Falling. Base hit. Here comes Williams. Here comes Matsui. It's tied up. Nobody's at second. And into second is Posada. It's 5-5.
And the Yankees have come all the way back in one of the greatest comebacks you'll ever see.
If there was a roof on that place, it would have just blown completely off because I've never seen a place like that.
Martinez finally left the stage, having given a valiant effort. And with the score now tied at 5, the Yankees put the ball and their future in the hands of the greatest reliever in postseason history.
Garcia-Parra takes strike 3. There's 1 out the 10th.
Here's the pitch from Mo. Swing and a miss.
3 shutout innings from Mariano Rivera sets up the bottom of the 11th in Game 7.
Mo was done after 3 spectacular innings. The Yankees needed to strike now. And as Aaron Boone loosened up for his first at-bat of the game, his third base coach had a premonition.
In this case, I just knew in my heart this kid was going to come through for us. And I looked him right in the eye and I said,
"You're my sleeper pick. You're the X factor of this series."
That inning, he came to the dugout and I met him at the top step, patted him on the back and I said, "Listen, you're still my sleeper, man. Let's go get him."
Now we're tied at 5 as we go to the bottom of the 11th. Here's Aaron Boone to lead off. His first at-bat of the game. There's a fly ball deep to left. It's on its way. There it goes. And the Yankees are going to the World Series for the 39th time in their remarkable history.
I tried to embrace the moment as much as I consciously could, but I couldn't.
Wow. I can't even talk.
And I'm trying to look around, but I can't really feel or hear anything. I'm just, wow.
A most unlikely finish to the most remarkable league championship series the Yankees have ever played.
For the fans in New England, more heartbreak.
So was this another sample of that fabled Yankees mystique? Or was it simply the curse?
We believe in ghosts, and we got some ghosts in this stadium.
How can you not believe in it? The way things have happened around here, you have to believe in it.
He's smiling now.
We just had to go pay tribute to Babe Ruth. Mel, him, and I went out there and we just, we gave him a little toast because, he's toasting us right now.
It's cataclysmic. It is the worst loss in Red Sox history.
For the Sox to lose in that ghoulish, hideous fashion, it's just a thing that people in Boston that are Red Sox fans aren't going to get over.
I'm so angry that I think I'm more depressed than I'm angry.
Let me tell you why I'm angry.
I am devastated.
They were going to beat the Yankees to go to the World Series, and they were going to have home field advantage here at Fenway, and everything just seemed to be working out.
When the World Series comes to your town, it's the circus coming to town. That's what we, as citizens of the Boston area, are being deprived. That's why I'm upset.
This was a season-ending game. I really did not think that they were going to lose that game.
It's a significant tragedy in the scheme of baseball for the Red Sox fans. It's been a tough thing to swallow.
These two teams have battled many times, but rarely has it reached the level this one did.
Trust me, this series right here will drive you to drink. No doubt about it.
It was a very intense series. I mean, both teams were just scratching and clawing. It was just something that it was great for the fans.
Still great baseball. It always is. Both teams are winning. It's going to be hot.
It was a big deal, and that was a big series for us. I was very surprised with how intense the dugout was, the fans and everything.
Yankees suck!
You had so many ingredients in there. Clemens, Pedro, Game 7, Yankee Stadium, 100 years of eyeballing each other. Curse of the Bambino, all these trappings all around it.
Before, it was the greatest rivalry in all of sports, but after what both teams just went through and the end result, it's taken it, I'm sure, to another level.
It ignited even more passion
in the single biggest rivalry in professional sports.
And so another and maybe the greatest chapter of this time-honored rivalry has been written.
I think it has to be bigger than 78 because that was one game to get into the playoffs. This was 7 games to get into the World Series, and it ended up coming down to just one game.
That is baseball to me. That's the way it should be. Healthy respect for each other, but you know, when you play the game, you want to beat the crap out of each other.
They say one of the true indications of a true baseball fan is that you've got to really despise your nearest rival. Well, it's easy for the Yankees and the Red Sox. We truly do.
It's a very bitter rivalry. The passion that New Yorkers have for the Yankees and that Boston has for the Red Sox, I can't imagine anything comparing to it in sports.